Let's talk about Korean religions. Long before there were kings, borders, or even writing, the Korean peninsula breathed with spirits. Mountains were not stone, they were ancestors standing still. Rivers whispered memories. The sky itself watched. The people believed that everything had a soul: trees, rocks, animals, storms. When thunder cracked, it was not noise, but speech. When a hunter failed, it was not chance, but displeasure. At the center of this world stood the Mudang, the shaman, usually a woman who danced between realms. She sang, trembled, laughed, cried, and collapsed because the spirits used her body as a doorway. There was no single god yet, only powers. The Sanshin, the mountain spirit, old and bearded, who guardian of villages. Yongwan, the dragon king of waters. Jowang, spirit of the hearth. And countless ancestral spirits who demanded respect or revenge. This belief system, later called Korean Shamanism or Muism, was not organized, written, or centralized, but it was deeply Korean, shaping how people understood fate, illness, luck, and death. Even today, its heartbeat has never fully stopped. Then came kings, or at least the idea of kingship blessed by heaven. The legend of Dangun, born of a heavenly prince and a bear woman, marked a turning point. Here religion became political. Heaven was no longer distant, it had a lineage. Early states like Go Joseon practiced rituals that blended shamanism with proto-state religion. Kings served as high priests. Heaven, or Chon, granted legitimacy. Annual sacrifices bound ruler, people, and cosmos together. The ruler did not rule by force alone, but by harmony with heaven. Lose heaven's favor, and rebellion was justified. This idea would echo through all later Korean religions, even those imported from abroad. One day, monks arrived. They wore foreign robes. They spoke of suffering, impermanence, and awakening. They carried sutras written in strange characters. Buddhism entered Korea quietly, but once inside, it never left. In 372 CE, Goguryeo officially adopted Buddhism. Soon after, Baekje, and then Shila. At first, Buddhism seemed foreign, but it adapted quickly. Koreans saw Buddha as a cosmic sage, bodhisattvas as compassionate guardians, enlightenment as a noble goal fitting for kings and monks alike. Temples rose on sacred mountains already inhabited by spirits. Rather than banishing Sanshin, Buddhism absorbed him. Mountain spirit shrines still stand inside temples today, a uniquely Korean compromise. Under unified Shila from the 7th to 9th centuries CE, Buddhism became radiant. There were golden pagodas, Sokguram's serene Buddha gazing toward the East Sea. Monks were scholars, diplomats, and philosophers. Buddhism was no longer foreign. It had become Korean. While Buddhism spoke of liberation from the world, another system whispered something different: fix the world. Confucianism arrived from China not as a religion, but as a moral and political philosophy. It taught filial piety, hierarchy, ritual correctness, loyalty to ruler and family. At first, Confucianism lived quietly beside Buddhism, but it planted seeds in government, bureaucracy, education, and law. Kings realized something powerful. Buddhism sanctified rule, but Confucianism disciplined it. Under the Goryeo dynasty, Buddhism reigned supreme. The state funded temples, monks advised kings, The Tripitaka Koreana was carved over 80,000 woodblocks, a prayer made of labor. But excess crept in. Wealthy temples, corrupt monks, ritual without restraint. Confucian scholars watched and waited. When Joseon was founded, it did something radical. It rejected Buddhism. Neo-Confucianism became state orthodoxy, not just a philosophy, but a moral universe. Temples were pushed into mountains, monks were barred from cities, ancestor worship became central, education became sacred. Life itself became ritual. How to bow, how to mourn, how long to grieve, how to rule. Joseon was not atheistic. It believed heaven watched everything, but it demanded order over transcendence. Shamanism survived among the people. Buddhism endured in silence. Confucianism ruled the surface. As Joseon weakened and foreign powers loomed, the old order cracked. Then came Donghak, Eastern learning. Its message was explosive. Heaven lives within people. All humans are equal. Corrupt elites have lost heaven's mandate. Donghak was spiritual, political, and revolutionary. It terrified the state. Its suppression helped ignite the Donghak Peasant Rebellion in 1894, a spiritual uprising with swords and chants. From this chaos emerged Chondogyo, a modernized continuation of Donghak, blending Confucian, Buddhist, and Christian ideas. Christianity entered Korea unlike anywhere else. Catholicism arrived without missionaries, through Korean scholars reading Western texts. Its ideas were dangerous. One God above kings, equality before God, refusal to perform Confucian ancestor rites. Persecution followed, martyrdom followed. Then Protestant missionaries arrived in the late 19th century, developing schools, hospitals, Hangul education, and nationalist resistance during Japanese rule. Christianity became linked to modernity, resistance, education, and independence. By the 20th century, Korea would become one of the most Christian countries in Asia. Modern Korea became a crossroads. Buddhism adapted to urban life. Christianity flourished, fragmented, and globalized. Confucian values lingered in family and education. Shamanism resurfaced in times of crisis, and new religious movements arose, some peaceful, some controversial. Even secular Koreans still bow to ancestors, avoid unlucky dates, and seek shamans before exams or weddings. The old spirits never truly left. Korean religion was never about choosing one truth. It was about balance, heaven and earth, ancestors and descendants, order and transcendence. In Korea, beliefs do not erase one another. They layer like sediment, forming a deep spiritual landscape. And if you listen carefully, on a mountain path, in a temple bell, or during a shaman's drumbeat, you can still hear every age speaking at once.